Welcome back, everybody. Today we're taking a deep dive into Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to unpack some mysteries and adventures and maybe even some life lessons that are hidden within Harry's second year at Hogwarts.
Okay, so, right off the bat, what's interesting about this book, is how it really kind of goes beyond a simple hero's journey.
Yes.
It delves into some pretty complex themes, like prejudice, power, and the weight of destiny versus the freedom of choice.
Yeah. Okay, let's start at the beginning with Harry's summer at the Dursleys.
Oh, boy.
Remember that feeling of being trapped with these people who just don't understand him?
Uh-huh.
It's like Harry's magical world is being suffocated under this layer of dreary normalcy.
That's a great point. That is a really great point. The Dursleys, they really do represent the mundane, the fear of anything extraordinary.
Yeah.
They try to squash Harry's magic. Literally, they lock away his books and his owl. It's almost symbolic of how society often tries to suppress individuality.
Yes, and then bam, entered Dobby the house elf. This whirlwind of good intentions and disastrous magic, trying to save Harry by keeping him away from Hogwarts.
Yeah.
You almost have to laugh at the chaos he creates.
You do.
But there's also a sadness to Dobby,
Absolutely there is.
isn't there?
Yeah, Dobby embodies the plight of house elves, their ingrained servitude and their yearning for freedom.
Yeah.
It really raises questions about the ethics of magical beings serving wizards, even if it's tradition.
Right. It makes you wonder, what would it be like to have magic, but to be bound to serve? Does that diminish the wonder, or does it make it even more potent, this desire to break free?
That's a great question, and, that ties into this whole theme of control that we see throughout the book.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Magic, for example, they try to control Harry by sending him a warning for using magic outside of school.
Uh-huh.
It's ironic, considering it was Dobby who caused the incident, but it just shows how easily even well-intentioned institutions can overreach.
And sometimes the only way to break free from that control is to, well, break the rules.
Yeah.
Cue the Worsleys' flying car, swooping in to rescue Harry.
One of my favorite scenes.
It's such a visually stunning scene. You can almost feel the wind in your hair as they soar above the clouds, leaving the Dursleys and their restrictions behind.
I love that the flying car is like the symbol of rebellion, a defiance of the established order.
Totally.
But it also represents the Weasley family's fierce loyalty and their willingness to go to any lengths to protect those they love.
Even if it means facing a grumpy Whomping Willow in the wrath of Professor Snape.
Exactly. There are consequences for breaking the rules, even with the best of intentions.
Yes.
But the Weasleys, particularly the twins, always seem to find a way to navigate those consequences with a mischievous grin and a twinkle in their eyes.
Yes, speaking of mischief, let's talk about Diagon Alley.
Okay.
It's this place of wonder and possibility.
Uh-huh.
But there's a darkness lurking beneath the surface.
Yeah.
Especially when we encounter Draco Malfoy and his father Lucius.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that chilling moment in Flourish and Blots? Lucius slips Ginny Weasley a peculiar book, and his expression is anything but friendly.
Right, that seemingly small act sets a chain of events in motion, and it just speaks volumes about Lucius Malfoy's character.
Totally.
He uses subtle manipulation and ingrained prejudice to further his agenda.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that evil doesn't always announce itself with a huge gesture. Sometimes it operates in the shadows, planting seeds of discord and hate.
It makes you wonder how many seemingly insignificant moments hold the power to change the course of events.
Whoa.
It's like those tiny choices we make every day ripple outwards, shaping not just our own lives, but the lives of those around us.
That is a profound thought.
It is.
And it's particularly relevant in a story like this, where choices and their consequences are so central,
Right.
Think about Harry's decision to fly the enchanted car to Hogwarts.
Right.
It's a daring act of rebellion, but it also leads to the series of events that he couldn't have anticipated.
Yeah, they missed the Hogwarts Express and decide to fly the car instead.
Yeah.
It's a wild, exhilarating ride. But it ends with a crash landing into the Whomping Willow.
Oh, no.
It's as if the castle itself is rejecting their reckless disregard for the rules.
Interesting. The Whomping Willow, in many ways, is a symbol of the dangers that are lurking within Hogwarts.
Wow.
A reminder that magic, while wondrous, can also be unpredictable and even dangerous.
And once they're back at Hogwarts, things take an even darker turn.
Yeah.
Remember that creeping sense of dread that permeates the castle?
Oh, yeah.
It's like something sinister has awakened within those ancient walls.
Yeah, the attack on Mrs. Norris is a huge turning point.
Uh-huh.
It's no longer just rule breaking or teenage mischief.
Right.
It's a deliberate act of magic.
Oh, yeah.
A declaration of war from the heir of Slytherin.
That petrified cat hanging like a grim warning sets the tone for the entire book.
Yeah.
It's not just a prank, it's a hate crime.
Right.
A targeted attack meant to instill fear in division.
Exactly.
Remember how this made you feel the first time you read it? That creeping dread, the sense that Hogwarts, this place of wonder, isn't safe anymore.
Absolutely. The attack forces everyone to confront the legend of the Chamber of Secrets and the dark legacy of Salazar Slytherin.
Yeah.
It exposes these deep-seated prejudices within the wizarding world, particularly against Muggleborns.
And it's Hermione, as always, who dives headfirst into research.
Of course.
Uncovering the history of the Chamber and the heir of Slytherin. It's fascinating how Rowling weaves real-world issues like prejudice and discrimination into this magical world.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
It is.
The Chamber of Secrets becomes this symbol of intolerance
Right.
and the dangers of clinging to these outdated beliefs. You know, it shows how easily fear and hatred can be exploited even in a world of magic.
And then there's Harry's ability to speak Parseltongue.
Right.
It's both a gift and a curse, connecting him to Voldemort in a way he doesn't understand. It's almost as if his destiny is pulling him towards this darkness, whether he wants it or not.
Harry's Parseltongue ability is kind of like a metaphor for the burdens we inherit.
Yeah.
The traits and histories that shape how others perceive us.
Right.
Even if they don't define who we truly are.
Totally.
It raises the question, can we escape our past? Or are we forever bound to it?
To clear Harry's name, Hermione comes up with this daring, if somewhat questionable,
Yeah.
plan to use Polyjuice Potion to disguise themselves as Slytherins.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Remember that feeling of anticipation? The risk and excitement of sneaking into the Slytherin common room?
Oh, the Polyjuice Potion episode is just a masterclass in suspense and humor.
It's so good.
It highlights the trio's loyalty and resourcefulness,
Yeah.
their willingness to break the rules for a greater purpose.
Right.
But it also exposes the ugliness of Slytherin House.
Yeah.
Their obsession with blood purity and their disdain for those they deem unworthy.
It's a reminder that even in a magical world, there are dark corners and hidden agendas. And sometimes the truth is far more disturbing than we could ever imagine.
Speaking of disturbing truths, let's talk about Tom Riddle's diary. It's a seemingly innocuous object, but it holds a dark secret. A window into the mind of a young Voldemort.
The diary is a brilliant narrative device, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
It allows us to see Voldemort not as this monstrous villain, but as a vulnerable, ambitious teenager.
Yeah.
It humanizes him in a way, making his descent into darkness all the more tragic.
Exactly. The diary foreshadows the concept of Horcruxes.
Right.
These fragments of Voldemort's soul that he hides to achieve immortality. It shows his obsession with power, his willingness to sacrifice anything, even his own soul,
Wow.
to conquer death.
And poor Ginny Weasley.
I know.
She's drawn into this web of manipulation, pouring her heart out to Tom Riddle, unknowingly giving him power over her.
It's so sad.
It's a reminder that even the most innocent can be victims of manipulation, especially when they're seeking connection and understanding.
Ginny's possession is like this heartbreaking example of Voldemort's cruelty.
Right.
His willingness to exploit the vulnerable to achieve his goals.
Yeah.
It adds another layer of complexity to the story.
Reminding us that good and evil aren't always so clear-cut.
And then there's Gilderoy Lockhart,
Oh, Lockhart.
the supposed expert on dark creatures. He's all charm and bravado, but when it comes down to it, he's a fraud.
Yeah.
A coward who cares more about his reputation than the safety of his students.
Lockhart represents the dangers of superficiality,
Yes,
the allure of fame and recognition without the substance to back it up.
right.
His amnesia, while comedic, is also a fitting punishment for his deceit. It strips him of his carefully constructed persona, leaving him with nothing but the consequences of his actions.
It's a stark contrast to Harry, Ron, and Hermione,
Yeah,
who, despite their flaws, are willing to face their fears and fight for what's right.
right.
They don't have all the answers, but they have each other.
Yeah.
And that's what matters.
Their descent into the Chamber of Secrets is like this symbolic journey into the heart of darkness.
It is.
It's a test of courage, loyalty, and the bonds of friendship.
It shows that even in the face of unimaginable danger, there is strength and unity
Right.
in standing together against the forces that seek to divide us.
And to the climax of the story, Harry enters the chamber alone,
Dun, dun, dun.
facing not just a monstrous basilisk, but the ghostly apparition of Tom Riddle, who reveals his true identity as Lord Voldemort.
Right.
It's a chilling moment, realizing that the villain Harry has feared all his life is not just a distant threat, but a very real and present danger.
This confrontation is about so much more than just a battle between good and evil.
Totally.
It's about Harry confronting his own past, his connection to Voldemort, and the weight of his destiny.
Yeah.
It's about choosing who he wants to be despite the darkness that threatens to consume him.
And it's in this moment of despair that Harry shows his true courage. He refuses to give in to fear or hatred.
Right.
He fights not just for his own survival, but for the lives of his friends, for the future of Hogwarts, for the hope that good can triumph over evil.
The battle with the basilisk is a visual spectacle full of tension and suspense.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also this symbolic clash between innocence and experience.
Right.
Between the power of love and the allure of darkness.
And just when it seems like all hope is lost. Fawkes. Dumbledore's Phoenix arrives, bringing a glimmer of light into the darkness.
I love Fawkes.
It's a reminder that even in the most desperate of times, there are forces working for good,
Yes.
guiding and protecting those who fight for justice.
Fawkes' appearance is like a symbol of Dumbledore's faith in Harry. His belief that even a young boy can make a difference in the world.
Good dust.
It reinforces the idea that we are not alone in our struggles.
Right.
That there are those who believe in us even when we doubt ourselves.
And then there's the sword.
The sword.
The sword of Godric Gryffindor, appearing out of the sorting hat just when Harry needs it most.
It's magical.
It's a moment of pure magic.
Yeah.
A testament to Harry's courage and his connection to the legacy of Gryffindor House.
The sword represents Harry's inner strength, his capacity for bravery and selflessness.
Right.
It shows that true power comes not from dark magic or inherited abilities,
Right.
but from the choices we make, the values we uphold, and the people we choose to fight for.
Harry, wielding the sword, manages to kill the basilisk, but not without cost.
Oh, no.
He's poisoned his life hanging in the balance.
Right.
It's a reminder that even in victory, there are sacrifices to be made. And the path to defeating evil is rarely easy.
Even as Harry lies dying, he refuses to give in to despair.
Yeah.
He challenges Riddle, arguing that it's not our abilities, but our choices that define us.
That's so powerful.
It's a powerful statement rejecting Voldemort's ideology of power and dominance, and affirming the importance of love, compassion, and the freedom to choose our own path.
And with his last bit of strength, Harry stabs the diary with the basilisk fang, destroying Riddle's spirit and breaking the hold he had over Ginny.
Yes.
It's a symbolic victory, showing that even small acts of defiance can have a profound impact.
The destruction of the diary is a pivotal moment.
It is.
It marks a defeat for Voldemort, a setback in his plans to regain power.
Right.
It shows that evil, while resilient, is not invincible. It can be challenged, resisted, and ultimately overcome by acts of courage and selflessness.
And then there's the healing.
Yes.
Fawkes, with his tears, saves Harry from the basilisk venom, demonstrating the power of love and forgiveness.
That's
It's
beautiful.
a beautiful moment, full of hope and the promise of renewal.
Fawkes' healing tears represent the restorative power of nature, the ability to mend even the deepest wounds. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope
Right.
and the potential for healing and growth.
They escape the chamber, returning to the surface where they're met with relief and celebration.
Yeah.
Harry, though shaken, has grown from the experience.
Right.
He's faced his fears, confronted his own darkness,
Yeah.
and emerged stronger, more determined than ever to fight for what's right.
Harry's journey through the Chamber of Secrets is like a metaphor for the challenges we all face in life.
Yeah.
It's about confronting our fears, making difficult choices, and finding the courage to stand up for what we believe in, even when it seems impossible.
And it's about the power of friendship.
Yeah.
The unwavering support of those who believe in us even when we doubt ourselves. Ron and Hermione, they never wavered in their loyalty to Harry.
Right.
They risked their lives to help him, proving that true friendship can withstand even the darkest of trials.
Their bond is a testament to the strength of human connection,
It is.
the power of love and loyalty to overcome even the most formidable obstacles.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that we are not meant to face our challenges alone,
Right.
that there is strength and unity and support in those who care for us.
And let's not forget the satisfying downfall of Lucius Malfoy.
Oh, yeah.
Harry, with a bit of clever trickery, exposes Lucius's scheme and frees Dobby the house elf.
Yes.
It's a small victory, but it's symbolic of the larger fight against prejudice and oppression.
Lucius's downfall represents the consequences of abusing power and clinging to outdated beliefs. It shows that even those in positions of authority are not above the law.
Right.
And that justice, though sometimes delayed, will ultimately prevail.
And with Dobby finally free, Hogwarts returns to a semblance of normalcy. But the events of the Chamber of Secrets have changed everything.
Yeah.
Harry has faced his own mortality, confronted the darkness within himself, and emerged with a deepened understanding of the world and his place in it.
The ending of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is both hopeful and bittersweet.
It is.
It celebrates the triumph of good over evil, the power of friendship, and the resilience of the human spirit.
Right.
But it also acknowledges this ongoing struggle against prejudice and the ever-present threat of darkness.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, but it feels like we've only scratched the surface of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. There's just so much to unpack.
So many layers.
So many layers of meaning woven into this story. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to bring it back to you, our listener.
Okay.
What resonates with you most from this book? What are you still thinking about?
You know, for me, it's that powerful conversation between Harry and Dumbledore towards the end.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when Harry expresses his fear that he's more like Voldemort than he wants to admit?
Right.
Especially with his ability to speak parcel tongue.
But
Dumbledore reassures him, saying, "It is our choices, Harry, that show what we truly are far more than our abilities."
it's such a crucial moment, not just for Harry's character development,
Right.
but for the overall theme of the book.
Exactly.
It reminds us that we're not defined by our circumstances or our past or even our inherent abilities.
Right.
We have the power to choose who we want to be to shape our own destiny.
And that choice is reflected in the sword Harry uses to defeat the basilisk.
Yeah.
You know, it's revealed that the sword belonged to Godric Gryffindor himself. And only a true Gryffindor could have wielded it. It's a symbolic affirmation of Harry's character, his bravery, his loyalty, and his inherent goodness.
It's like the Sorting Hat knew all along,
Yeah.
placing him in Gryffindor,
Yeah.
the house known for courage and chivalry.
Right.
But it's Harry's choices, his actions throughout the story, that prove he truly belongs there.
Exactly. The sword is like this physical manifestation of Harry's inner strength,
Yeah.
his capacity for good. It reinforces the idea that true power comes not from dark magic or inherited abilities,
Right.
but from the choices we make, the values we uphold, and the people we choose to fight for.
And it's not just Harry who makes difficult choices in this book.
Right.
Ron and Hermione constantly choose loyalty over fear,
Yes.
risking their own safety to help Harry uncover the truth and defeat the monster. Their friendship is a powerful reminder that we're stronger together,
Right.
that we can overcome any challenge with the support of those we love.
Absolutely. And it's not just about these huge gestures of heroism. It's also about the small acts of kindness and compassion. Like Harry tricking Lucius Malfoy into freeing Dobby.
Right.
These moments remind us that even in a world full of darkness,
Yeah.
there's always room for hope, for change, for making a difference no matter how small it may seem.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets isn't just a children's story.
No.
It's a reflection of the real world, a cautionary tale about the dangers of intolerance and the importance of fighting for equality and understanding.
It encourages us to look beyond those surface appearances, to
Cool.
question assumptions and to challenge the systems and beliefs that perpetuate injustice.
And to always choose kindness,
Yes.
even when it's difficult, even when it seems like the world is against you. Because as we've seen in this deep dive, it's those choices that truly define us,
Right.
that shape our destinies and that make the world a little bit brighter, a little bit more magical.
So as you go about your day, dear listener, remember the lessons of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
Choose courage over fear, loyalty over self-interest, and kindness over indifference. You have the power within you to make a difference.
That's right.
Go out there and create your own magic.